What's up, party people in the house? It's Dynasty War Games. I'm your host, and tonight I'm also your game master. I'm Jesse Schneeman. I'm here with Captain Mike Casper, my co-host. How you doing, man?
What's up, Jesse? Not your main man, though. I get it. It's cool. It's
No, you were gone. You're gone when that happened, man.
All right, it's cool.
You're the captain of the ship.
Okay. Oh, ship. I don't like that. Tank, maybe something like that.
Oh, captain of the tank. All right,
that's cool. That doesn't sound as good, but
slogging along. So Chad's not with us tonight. In his place, we have Austin Bell, Sweet and Low Civic on Sleeper. Say hello and give us your Twitter, Austin.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be here. I play with these guys in a lot of leagues, multiple DWZ leagues as well. So excited to get in here and join the network. Twitter handle, same thing as Sleeper, Sweet and Low Civic. I pretty much keep it the same on everything. Literally, I think every platform is the same. Not many people want Sweet and Low Civic as a username, so it's usually available everywhere.
Right on. You got a lowrider Honda Civic?
I do. I've had it for 13 years now.
Wow, nice.
And it's been my baby forever, pretty much.
Awesome. Right on.
Austin's being modest. He used to be quite the Instagrammer back in the day. I've learned through our Fantasy Einstein pods we used to do a couple seasons ago. So,
that is true.
He was.
I'm not.
He was a dude. He was it.
I'm not an Instagram kind of guy.
I'm not either. My wife just made her first reel for her photography company. She's starting back up again, and I was like, how do I share this thing? Is that something you do on Instagram? Or, so it's so funny. I used to make fun of old people that had no idea how to use social platforms, and now in a matter of 5 years, I've become one, just in my mid-30s. So I can't wait when I'm 70 when I'm like, what are you kids doing these days? This is crazy.
Anyways, as a podcast, we're pretty get off our lawn when it comes to Twitter. We really don't know what the hell.
It's true, yeah.
But, so we did start 10 minutes late tonight, so very on brand.
Yeah. My fault, like usual.
That's all good.
It's my kid's fault. So if anybody's mad, you can feel guilty for being angry at children.
That doesn't make me feel bad at all.
No, really, I was thinking the same thing. I just, being a guest, didn't want to say that.
All right. Cool. So do you guys, all right. So a little more about Austin real quick. So the reason I have Austin on tonight, the reason I asked him to come on tonight, well, first of all, Mike told me that, he's a big fan of the podcast, listens all the time, wanted to come on. But also, he's a great Patreon member, commissions, I don't know, 3 different leagues I'm in, I think, or is in 4 different leagues I'm in. And so we play a lot together. Every time I make a trade, it's either the poop emoji or the double eye emoji. It's never fire, right? So I always think I made a pretty fair trade, and Austin always thinks I either killed somebody or got killed by him. Right?
That's pretty even. That sounds about right.
So Austin and I have different trade values, so that's why I want him on. I want a different point of view and figure out all right, am I overvaluing players? Is Mike overvaluing players?
Absolutely, for Mike, I can go ahead and say yes.
Right on.
Absolutely for Austin, because just so you all know, Austin and I go way back. When I joined my first Dynasty League, I believe it was your first one too, right, Austin?
First one that I took serious, absolutely.
Yeah, and Austin's seen beginner Mike back in the day, and pretty much almost every league I feel like I was in, Austin came on board, and then I started the Fantasy Einsteins League and actually did podcasts there for a little bit a couple of years ago before I started getting serious about DWZ podcasts. So had Austin on quite a bit. So good friends, never get trades done.
No,
but always,
we did
always good rivals as well.
Did we? Before
yeah,
last,
we did. Yeah, I did. I did
Mm-hmm.
that Ertz trade in Einstein's. Probably shouldn't have done it, but it's all
I appreciated it. I needed it.
Need some competition in there,
You do.
But yeah, so we go way back. Always good. Always. I guess we're always just blowing smoke up each other's.
Yes,
butts,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? So we never take the other seriously. but we disagree on everything, and
Yep.
it's awesome.
And I love it. It's the best part.
That's why we do fantasy, right?
hmm
I'm in that Einstein's league as well. I'm rebuilding. I took over a real ship. Like, thanks, Mike Preach.
You did take over a roster right there. Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
I mean, I have a
sink
lot of
rosters
assets
in that
now.
league.
Well, it's because Mike has everybody. That's the reason. That's the whole problem.
I don't even know what happened in that league, but
I
yeah.
don't either.
I
but
look
you
at it
did
this season and I'm like, geez, I could set 2 starting lineups.
You
with
literally
my
have like
bench.
7 top 15 running backs. I was like, oh, I'm gonna upgrade running back. Who can I get? Let me look at Saquon. Let me look at Kamara, Cook, McCaffrey, Eckler. Oh, he has them all. Okay, just kidding.
I mean,
fun stuff.
I traded Mike a lot of players, but that's because he was willing to pay up. I mean,
Yeah, I had a lot
He's
of
not
picks.
scared to pay. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
If he
gave me
wants somebody, he will pay.
three first and a player for Chase. You know, like
Yeah.
it's not easy to get Chase even at
Mm-mm.
cost, but like
And
you
I
said,
have Higgins.
I think that is the cost, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've tried it. That's pretty much what I've experienced.
yeah.
I will never pay first for a player again, though. I did do that for Saquon in that league 2 years ago, and I
Sure
will.
did.
That's my number one rule after that trade is I don't think I'll ever. Well, I wouldn't say
not
that for a
4
quarterback, but especially not for a running back. Won't do 4 first for a running back again.
Yeah, I hate paying 2 for a running back, to be honest, but that's just me.
Those are 2020 picks turned into like Swift and Akers and
hmm
2 others. guys.
So I'm gonna pull
Anyways,
back.
I
I'm gonna
digress.
pull back the curtain a little bit, and something that you didn't actually know, Mike, is that your audition for this podcast was when you used to do podcasts with Austin.
Hey,
So-
I'll take half credit. I like it.
So
Oh.
when I was putting together our first Patreon podcast and thinking about who to ask to join me, we were in Patreon 2 together, and we had made a bunch of trades and a lot of good positive interactions in the chat and stuff. And I was like, this guy Mike's pretty cool. And then you had posted one of the podcasts that you did with Austin, and I watched it, and I was like, oh,
Hmm.
so he already has some experience. Maybe he can, help out, like carry us a little bit, in the beginning.
Huh.
And like I said, like you didn't know it, but that was your audition for this podcast.
That's interesting.
pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I just like to come on and shoot it with Austin or Otis or whoever
Mhm.
goes to come on. So that's funny. That's cool. I wish I still had time to do it, to be honest, but I just don't anymore.
Right on.
So
That's right.
I try.
All right. So speaking of quarterback trades, let's make one. All right. So
Okay.
I have an offer in my inbox. I'm a rebuilding team. All right. So it's super flex, 12 team, tight end premium, like most of the leagues we play in. Right. And
Is this in the Villain Pub?
no,
Oh, okay.
I'm offering Derek Carr, Derek Singletary, and a late 24 first for Trevor Lawrence and probably a mid 24 second.
You
Like I
offered
said,
or it got offered?
I offered something different, and this was a counter.
Carr, Singletary, and a 24 first.
Your
For
first or somebody
Trevor and
else?
a second.
It's someone else's. It's going to be a late first.
Okay.
This is an Einstein's. It's got to be an Einstein's.
It's not nice.
Oh, okay.
You have Carr and Einstein's, Jesse?
He does.
Yeah, nobody will make me a good offer.
I have a Fields share. What's up?
Oh,
Hey! No,
All right.
let's
Let's
not
put
do
this-
this. Dang it, Mike! What did you
All
do?
all right. Yeah, we're going to make a trade, Austin.
I honestly prefer the Carr side.
Yeah, I think I do too. And
All right, but if you're
Um,
me,
is
what
Carr
else
your
would
best
you-
quarterback, or is he your 2?
Well, I mean,
So that also makes a big difference for me.
it's a tear down and rebuild completely. So I have to get rid of Carr at some point. I want
Depends
to get
on-
rid of Carr at some point.
I think Carr's going to be another, 3 to 5 years at
Uh-huh.
least.
I think he's
Yeah,
a
but I-
perfect 2.
You got-
But I just don't
Three-
think he's going to have he's
3-year
not going to carry
windows.
the value that he has now into like next year and the year after. I want to capitalize on everything. I
Yeah,
can
but
get.
you're
Really?
paying a
Devontae?
first to get T-Law.
So he's
You
my
think
only
that's
quarterback.
carrying weight.
He's actually my only quarterback. So like
I don't like giving up the first is
Yeah.
the thing, especially if you're a rebuilding team. Even if it's not
So-
yours. Even
It's
if
a,
it's late, still.
it's a late first, and I'm getting back a mid second. So I would say I'm probably moving back 4 or 5 spots.
Still, though, I
maybe
mean, like,
6 at the most.
I know the 24 class isn't super clear right now, right? I mean, no
Mhm.
class ever is, but 23, like a 110 is looking pretty good with the quarterbacks and
Mhm.
running backs.
Shoot, a
and even
116's looking pretty good.
yeah, I mean, you could be getting the wide receiver 1 or 2
Uh-huh.
in this class. So who knows by the time it comes around to 24, like I don't like I on as straight up as is, I would prefer the car side. If you could do
So
car
you guys are
Singletary and a second and get
Yeah.
back T Law and a
And-
third or something like
Or
that,
even nothing.
or even nothing, I'm okay with that
I agree totally.
in a rebuild.
All right. So what I
So-
originally offered was Carr, Singletary, and 2/3.
How many seconds do you have?
Let's look. I've got a amount of picks. So.
Also,
Shouldn't
shout
be hard.
out to Mike Kenny, Joe Fry, and whoever leads abroad is in the chat.
I
We
have
got
two.
some-
I have 2:23
There's some chat.
seconds. 2:23 seconds, 1:24, and 2:25 seconds.
I would.
The 24 second, I assume, is yours, which is your
Yes.
rebuilding is probably going to be.
Yeah, I
earlier.
don't want to give that up.
So I'd try maybe the 25 seconds,
That's-
but I don't think that'll get it done.
yeah, I
That's
don't
what I'd
either.
try to see.
See,
if
like,
it gets it done, but
The 24 second and the 24 first that he's asking for are 1 or 2 picks apart.
I
Yeah,
mean, a
but
lot can
first-
change in 2 years.
You don't know.
Yeah,
that.
you're right.
First is a first.
You're right.
Like, so
And not to mention, you can have a monster roster and have 2 or 3 injuries, and all of a sudden you're at 106.
Mhm.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
Okay.
That
I
happens
would
more.
I wouldn't
times
accept
than
it
I
as
care.
is. I'd counter against
Fair
see if
point.
you can give a little bit less.
I would
but-
give your 25 first before 24. If he's going to say a first has to be involved, at least give yourself 2 years to make that first later.
But then I would give up my first instead of
His
this
first
other
and-
person. with
yeah.
a-
Yeah, but that's
Better
3
roster.
years. You should be
Yeah.
able to build a roster by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be at least mid
Yeah,
by then if you trust yourself, right?
exactly.
Hmm.
But
So
wouldn't
it
accept
just
it
feels
as his
it feels like you guys don't really believe in Trevor Lawrence.
I don't have a problem with him.
Because if
But
you
I don't-
really if you believe in him, if you think he's going to be as advertised, then it's a no-brainer.
I don't think so
You
at
know,
all.
it's an
I
aging
don't
it's
agree
an
with you.
aging quarterback for a young stud, right? You give up a first, and who cares about Trevor Singletary? I mean,
Oh
Devin
yeah, I
Singletary.
agree with that.
The Trevor side, Chad is actually in the chat. He said the Trevor side with a first is a fair trade.
I don't
So
know
having a
who
first
said
on the
that.
Trevor, yeah. So he's talking about the first should be on the Trevor side, with a second on the car side. Almost, I agree because I don't. I mean, do we think Trevor's going to be a top 12 QB this year?
Not this year, but I don't care. I'm rebuilding.
I know,
Yeah,
but
but
you say
value's
you
not
say
of it.
young stud. If he's not a top 12 QB this year, he's not even close to stud territory. You know,
Yeah, but he's going to still hold his value as long as he's not terrible. All right, so I'm going to counter with, I'm going to take away the first and the second, and I'm going to offer a 23 second.
You're taking the second off with T-Law.
Yeah, so I'm going to
Yeah, I
offer,
like that.
I'm going to offer Carr and a 23 second that's not mine, right, for Trevor.
and Singletary, or no?
That'd be fine.
Oh yeah, I'll give him Singletary too.
Yeah.
I'll throw a Singletary in there. That's fine.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I don't have an issue with it. I mean, it'd be cool to get a third back just to
Or
gain a
fourth.
pick back, but yeah, is it something? But
I don't want to ask for the third back because I feel like I'm already asking. You know, I'm already asking for something here. So.
Yeah. I get it.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Awesome. We'll see what happens. See if it gets accepted.
All right.
What
So-
fruity drink are you drinking tonight, Jesse?
Oh, I am drinking because I am not actually drinking an alcoholic beverage. This is
bro.
Maine Root Blueberry Soda.
Oh,
It's quite
that
delicious.
actually sounds kind of delicious.
That
It
does.
really is. It's delicious.
What about you, Austin?
Just water. I'm pretty basic. I don't drink any caffeine. I don't drink anything like
Oh,
that. So
gosh.
just
How do
water.
you- Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe when you podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
When I grow up, maybe I can get into caffeine again.
This is for Chad in the chat there. Cosmic Stardust by whatever this is called. Yep.
That tastes like?
Alani. Oh, that's
Alani? It's pretty
she's
good. I have
a
no idea what it tastes like.
female fitness person.
Oh, really?
My lady knows her.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Well, she makes great energy drinks. I know they just started
Cool.
selling them in 6-packs, but she's got like the rocket ship
Mhm.
popsicle. It's got that. She's got one called Witch's Brew, which tastes like a caramel apple that I really like.
Ooh.
But anyway, that's what I'm going with tonight. And later, I've got a sparkling blood orange, but this has no caffeine in it. So HEB Organics. So sparkling water.
All right, so bar for field. Is that what we're talking here?
Well, I don't think
Oh.
it's straight, but that's what we're talking.
Well, what do you want?
I don't know. I don't know what you have. I'm contending, so it would need to be
What league
Something
are
in
we
that
talking
range.
about? Villains?
Einstein's.
Einstein's. Oh, I got all kind of shit.
See, Austin
I don't know
thinks
how much
he's
shit I
contending
want.
in that league, but he's like kind of pretending. in
Yeah.
that league.
It's kind of true. So I don't want to get rid of too much of my youth. But I have Herbert and Burrow. So I feel Fields is kind of like a unneeded value. I've done this in a couple leagues where I have 2 stud quarterbacks and then I have a high upside young guy.
Mhm.
I would kind of rather move to a Carr, a Cousins, something like that, and get plus with it.
Like
And
like
just
a
have
Gabe Davis.
I'm completely out on him, but yes, like that's
Oh,
a
are you?
perfect example. That is literally the perfect example.
I heard he's
Okay,
getting
well, let's
drafted
definitely
in like
figure out on
the 80s in redraft. Gabe
Oh
Davis
yeah,
is
he's like wide
that's
receiver
wild.
23 or something.
think it's
Oh,
crazy.
really? I like
I'm-
him as a wide receiver, like 3.
3, 4.
Yeah, I want
Yeah.
him on my bench, and I
Right.
play him with flex when I need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have to start him.
No, which is wide receiver 4 or 5 in most leagues.
Yeah, that's gross. If
Um,
I feel like if I have to start him, I'm picking him
Yeah.
on my team.
Yeah. So you've already got Burr on Herbert on that team.
Mhm.
And you want the car, getting the car insurance.
Yeah, I just feel like the safe QB3 with 2 QBs like that is better than dealing with the, I guess, insecurity of like a Fields, a Lance, something like that.
So you want
Watson
Gabe
in
Davis,
my
but not.
case.
But you want Gabe Davis, but not Gabe Davis.
Like that kind of value is exactly what I'm speaking of, like a early second, 2 seconds player kind of value.
You don't want Fields.
I do.
It's funny. I regret it immediately after the draft because I had the 102, 103, and I went Pitts and Chase, and I immediately regretted that I didn't grab Fields, but I didn't.
Yeah,
need
and you
QB
knew I
at the
needed a
time.
quarterback, and you
I
just let
know.
me go right to
I
him.
was going to, but now I don't care because it like worked out, and
I don't,
Chase and
this is
Pitts kind of
completely
went around,
unfair.
and they ended back on my team. So
What about
It's completely unfair.
Claypool?
You're hitting me with guys I just don't like. Yes.
Brian Robinson.
that's totally fair. Claypool.
Oh, I agree. It's fair. I
Claypool
think
and
Gabe
Carr.
Davis is fair. Like I'm not disagreeing on the
Tony.
fair part.
Kadarius Toney.
That's fair too.
That's pretty fair.
It's interesting.
All right, I'll give you to the end of the episode to think about it.
Yeah.
Or until
Okay.
Mike sends me
I
an
like
offer
to
to
hear.
trump you, because that's usually what happens.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
All right. So now that we've already talked a little trade, we're gonna play a game. All right, we're gonna play the
Do it.
we're gonna play the DTC trade calculator game. All right, so I have put together 5 trades. You guys are gonna buzz in. After I read the trade, you're gonna buzz in and tell me who has, which side has the higher value. If you get it wrong, it's a minus point. Obviously, if you get it right, you get a point. If you get it right, you also have a chance to tell me who's the highest player in the deal, and if you can guess his value within 2 points, you'll get an extra point each. All right, guys, get it?
How do I buzz? I say buzz.
Got it. Just say your name.
All right.
I think that's
Yeah,
what we usually do.
I forgot to tell you guys to
I
bring
like
a
that.
buzzer. It's more
And
fun
just
if I
say
tell you to
Ken
bring a buzzer
instead of
I forgot.
Austin. Keep it one syllable.
All right.
Okay, trade number one. On one side, we have DK and Debo. On the other side, we have Ayuk and DeAndre Swift. Which is higher?
Austin.
Austin, which is higher?
DK side.
Correct.
Say.
And who's the highest rated player in the deal?
Swift, easy.
And what's his value?
No point per carry.
I thought DK was with Debo.
Yeah, you said
Yeah.
in the deal in general, not on the winning side.
Oh, not on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
winning side. Oh, I thought you were
Right,
talking
right,
about the winning side. Okay, gotcha. Never mind.
No
bad.
point per carry, correct?
Correct.
41.
38.3.
Oh, I was gonna say 38. Dang it.
So
Ah,
you
shit.
do not get the bonus point, but you're up 1-0. So I don't think that's even a setting on DTC.
Oh, it absolutely
Point per
is.
carry is absolutely.
Is it?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
I haven't noticed. Okay.
It makes them boom way up. Like Swift goes to like 50 something.
So DK still holding a 27 value versus Debo at 32.1.
Sounds about right.
We already said Swift at 38.3, and then Ayuk is 15.1.
Yeah, I think
So-
Ayuk is really low.
Yeah, I think he's a good buy. I was about to say that.
He's pretty easy to get.
I was gonna say
25
nobody wants
first,
him.
I like it. That is true. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've been trying to sell him P2. Nobody wants them, so I'm not.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have him in
that's something.
P9, and I was trying to sell him just to create extra roster space in that shallow league,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't get a 23 first anywhere, just a straight first.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, you definitely can't.
Apparently, we have a comedian in chat. Brian Ford says, thoughts on Zach Wilson redraft. Thanks. I'll hang up and listen. Yeah, this is not a sports talk show. This is a dynasty show.
Yeah, Zach Wilson might have hurt himself tonight, so we'll see what happens.
I hope
But
not.
I don't have.
I have
a lot
one
Zach
share of
Wilson, but hide your kids, hide your wife.
I have 4 or 5, and they're all on teams trying to gain value, so this is not what I needed.
I only have the in case I'm wrong share. So that's it. That's the only one I have.
That's what I have for Lance.
All right, you ready for another game?
Yeah,
That one was a 5.7 differential, by the way. So
Difference.
this next one's going to be a lot easier. I mean,
Okay.
a lot harder. Not as easy.
Okay.
All right. On one side, we have Cortland Sutton, Austin's boyfriend, Gabe Davis. On the other side, we have Jerry Jeudy and I only wrote James Cook, right? That's his name. I only wrote down Jay Cook,
Mike.
and I can't.
I was too listening. I should have said my name.
Mike, sorry,
I
Sutton and
can't-
Davis.
I wanted to
Yes.
call him Jared Cook so bad. Sutton and Davis
Sutton and Davis.
is your answer incorrect.
Oh,
Oh.
So
well, you can't guess to
Austin,
get the
Yeah, I
point.
can't guess.
no, you can't. But so Mike's minus a point. But Austin, you can tell me who the highest player in the deal is and guess his value within 2 points, and I'll give you a point.
It should be Judy. And I'm going to say 19.
It is Judy, and it's 17.5. So that's within 2 points. So you get another. You're up 2 to -1. Man,
What
commanding
Sutton's now?
lead after 2. So Sutton 16.8. These guys have both gone up since we talked about them on the pod 2 weeks ago. So Sutton 16.8, Gabe Davis 13.3, Judy 17.5, and Cook 13.8. So there's only a 1.1 difference between the two in that trade. So I
That's a
mean,
good trade.
yeah, I feel like it's a pretty good trade. Personally, I'd take the Sutton side. Who would you guys take in that?
I'm gonna take the Sutton side
Yeah.
if I'm trying to win right now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Oh, so I'm sorry. I forgot to ask that about the first trade.
I was hoping you wouldn't ask.
Because that's the reason I asked. I mean, I put this in here is because you got DK and Debo at 5.7 points higher, and then you have Ayuk and Swift, but especially depending on roster need.
In a vacuum, I'll take the Debo side.
I was going to say in the vacuum, I'd take
in
the
a-
Debo side too.
Start 2 RB league, and I only have one good RB, then I'll take the Swift side and live with a little bit of value loss.
I agree with that.
Right on.
Sorry, boring.
So you guys are taking Sutton side
Yes.
in the other trade, both of you?
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
not a
take the
James
Suns.
Cook guy. That's a perfect James Cook sell trade right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like James Cook. I have not liked him since day one that I've seen him play football. Like I always say, if it's a little breezy in Buffalo, he's going to fall over.
Yeah.
He is going to get a shot, though. I think he gets a shot. So
Yeah, he will.
you never know.
I mean, it's crazy to me that he's a 13.8 and Singletary's a 5. Singletary had 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns last year. That's
It's only-
5 yards.
The third season in a row, we think Singletary's on his last season. So who knows?
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah. No, I love Sutton. Can I talk about Sutton now?
Yeah.
Can I go?
All right. So let's get your camp report on Sutton.
Yeah.
And,
there was a little worry about a shoulder injury earlier in the week on like Tuesday. It's pretty much over now. All the camp news on Sutton is glowing. Especially from one of the, I don't really like Mike Kliss. He's a beat writer for the Broncos. He was the one, him and someone else was talking about, Javonte Williams split and stuff like that. I prefer Jeff Legwold for ESPN. I feel like he's a lot more reliable of a source. He said whenever Wilson is flustered, when he's getting chased or he just needs a completion, it goes straight to Sutton every single time. All the deep balls to Sutton.
I've
And
seen
Sutton-
all those jump balls.
Yeah, and Sutton goes up there and gets it. Like he's not. I think that's why he had a little shoulder tweak. But he is like they're on the same page. And Sutton credited it to when he went out to Russ's house in San Diego over the summer. As soon as they got traded, so he and Wilson have been joined at the hip. I haven't seen anything negative, so I'm really excited
Cool.
to see them.
Judy had he had a kid during that, and that wasn't it something like that.
He had a kid or he had a family member that was sick or something like that. So
Yeah.
he missed kind of part of the stuff with I'm fine with Judy as well. I just think Sutton, number one, I think he's going to have a better season. Number two, I think he's going to have a huge spike in value.
Right on.
As it comes
that's a good
fantasy wise, he's getting close to second round of redraft, which is kind of a little too rich for me, but at the same time, I understand it. But I think it's going to be a pretty special season from Sutton if he can stay healthy.
So little curveball, if I may.
Go for it.
In the Einstein's league, I just traded away Sutton.
To
With
Chad.
Hamler.
Hamler.
Yeah, to Chad for Aaron Jones. What do y'all think?
That's solid.
I think
you
Jones
got
is
Aaron
gonna-
Jones.
I think Jones
Yeah,
is going to
correct.
smash. I think he's going to have more than like 70 receptions this year, to be honest.
Yeah, he's gonna have a really good year.
So,
Do you guys think he's gonna get a job elsewhere next year?
I think he'll
think-
turn into Melvin Gordon if he goes anywhere. If he's not staying in Green Bay.
he might just stay there.
Right on.
But yeah, I think for this year he's going to absolutely smash. He's kind of the 1 year piece.
That was kind of why I did it. I felt like Sutton was my wide receiver, like 7 on this roster. So
I hated it seeing it happen, but I also
I hated.
I also
giving
got
away
it.
Sutton
I got
'cause
it for
agree.
both sides. So yeah, it made sense to me.
All right, cool. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one. Austin's up by 3 points, commanding lead.
Sounds good.
All right, so on the left we have Jalen Hurts and Noah Fant.
The super flex.
This is super flex tight end premium 12 team. On the right we have Derek Carr and Amari Cooper. Which side is higher?
Mike
Go ahead, Mike.
Hurts side.
Hurts side. That's fine. All right, so who's the highest rated player and what's his DTC score?
I'm going to say Hurts.
Hmm.
And
That's
I'm
obvious.
going to say he is a 33.
Incorrect. But you did
Do I
get
get the guess?
yourself. No, you don't.
I didn't
You did
get
get
that.
yourself back to 0.
Yes. What is he? I was going to say 35 at first, but I went lower.
Yeah, 37.2.
Dang it. I still would have
Right.
missed it, but okay.
Fan is 7.5. I think it's pretty
Steal.
fair. I mean, it
Carr's
is a
like
steal because
20.
he's still so young, and he's got time to, work with a new quarterback. I don't know. It'll take.
Was Carr like a 24?
No, he's a 21,
Yeah.
Wow.
which I
DTC
really
hates
don't.
those old quarterbacks.
I just, it's not realistic at all. I would never trade him for that value. This is why I put this on here. Amari Cooper is a 16.9, which I think is pretty
I
fair.
mean, that's almost a 23 first, which I don't think is egregious.
I
Yeah,
want more than a
ironically,
23 first.
you said Fields for Carr and Gabe Davis, and I bet we put that in the calc, and it's right there at
Yeah.
that price. Putting Carr at that 23, 21,
Probably.
22 price. So
Yeah, probably.
it probably is closer than it sounds. It sounds terrible.
I don't have any Field shares. I was thinking about trying to buy one. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so let's talk about Hurts a little bit. From everything I'm hearing, he's actually starting to play well in training.
He was
camp.
good tonight, right?
I
Did he
don't
play
know.
tonight?
Be quiet. Shush. I have not had a chance to
Oh.
watch any of that game. I'm
What
here
are we
with
doing?
you gentlemen. I'm here with you gentlemen instead. So I have recorded. Yeah, I was at work and then I came home, ate dinner, jumped on. But yeah, he's looking really good at camp. The last, I would say, 6 practices, he's either been stock even or stock up, according to, I would say, 3 of the beat writers: Jimmy Kempski, Brandon Lee Gowden, and Ruben Frank are the 3 guys that I really like to listen to. And all 3 of them have very positive things to say, like ball's coming out with a lot more zip, deep ball's a lot more accurate. Like he's not coming up short on the deep balls like he was last year. So this is the first positive that I've heard really out of him in his training camp. OTAs really started camp slow. It was kind of the same thing last year. I'll give you my evaluation of the game after I watch. I mean, it's pretty awesome that starters are actually playing in the first preseason game.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting. So, yeah, I mean, I still don't think he's taking that leap forward, but yeah, probably a decent chance that he keeps his job through the year at least. Decent chance, anyway. Yeah. So
I just bought 1 share, so
I'm so mad.
It's my 3rd quarterback.
So mad about what?
He took the share. I've been trying to get that share from the guy for 2 months.
See, I don't want any Hurts. I don't think he has a job next year.
It's the only one I have, so
Yeah.
He's a smash for me this year.
Yeah.
I mean, like top 2 or 3 quarterback choice in Superflex. I'm not drafting him there, but he is an absolute smash for me.
he's got so much around him. I think it's gonna
Mhm.
make him get a
With his legs.
contract extension, whether they win the division or not.
I agree.
There's a decent chance Gardner Minshew is the starter by week 8. So, I mean, seriously, we need to win games. If he's not winning games, he's not going to be the starting quarterback. And if you see that run-heavy offense that we were running last year, it's not what the Eagles want to run. It's trouble for him.
Yeah.
It means he's
That's
about
fair.
to get benched.
That's fair.
If we can't run the passing offense that we want to run, they're not going to have patience with him anymore.
Yeah.
That's I will tell you that. So all eyes on Jalen. Speaking of Jalen Reagor looking good in camp. Really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So doing all the
So
right
wide receiver
things.
3. Is he going to get the
Making-
3 job?
No. Actually, he won't. So Quez Watkins is the wide receiver 3. He's got the deep speed. He's the fast, long guy, long speed slot. The only way Reagor sees the field is if Devonta or AJ Smith or AJ Brown gets hurt. What I'm really hoping is that the Bears or the Patriots trade for him.
the Bears
He's-
would be awesome.
he's not going to play. I mean, he's not going to play the slot over Quez Watkins or Zach Pascal. They like Zach Pascal as a blocker out of the slot, so they kind of like him on rundowns, I think, and in the red zone. They like him in the red zone because he can block, or he's big enough to kind of outmuscle people in the end zone. Rager's not going to play that role. That's kind of what they want out of their slot guy, either speed or size, and Rager's not going to win either of those. So the only way he plays is if one of the outside guys gets hurt. So he's kind of like the backup to one of the outside guys. But man, I'm telling you, he's still got first round talent, and it seems like he's starting to get his head screwed on straight. If he can stop with the ridiculous, head and outer space drops, and just, actually, play to his talent, we'll see. If he gets traded for a 4th round pick, I think it's a steal from another NFL team. Change the scenery a lot of times. But anyway, we'll see.
Cool. I hope so. I like him, so I'd like to.
Yeah,
it's fun
like
to
his
watch.
dad too. So
yeah, Monty Rager, former Bronco, former Eagle as well.
Yeah.
Actually, he was
Okay.
defensive tackle. He's a good player.
Yeah.
All right, so Austin's up 2-0. Mike's making the comeback. 2-0 after 3 trades. Kind of weird, right?
mm-hmm.
All right, so on the left side, this is we're heading to North Carolina. Baker and DJ Moore
Ooh.
for Darnold and Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
Mike McCaffrey.
Yeah, McCaffrey said that. All right, who's the highest rated,
McCaffrey.
and what's his value?
38.
Just for the tie, Mike. What did you say?
38.
38. Mike ties it up. It's actually 39.2.
nice.
All right.
Just got McCaffrey in P2 as well. Gave up
Mhm.
Jacobs and Mitchell.
I like that trade.
I liked it too. He already regrets it. I was
Yeah,
like,
he
I
should
don't know.
have. But I love
mean-
it for you with your roster.
I mean, considering he's the one that beat me in the championship, I gave him 2 pieces for 1. So it kind of helps him out a little bit more depth where he needs it.
Hmm.
But he gives me the elite player. I don't know. I'm all about CMC this year. So I have probably too many shares, but I don't know. I love the guy. Call it my
I got a
Broncos
stat
bias
for
too.
you.
I love his dad. So go for it.
In the last 21 games, he hasn't left with an injury. He's been a top 8 running back in 20 of them.
Yeah.
So
Dude just
that's
smashes.
why, it's just automatic.
All right. So who's how big of a difference do you think this trade is?
I mean, I bet Darnold's worth
2.
probably 2.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's a 40. And I would say we said DJ Moore. I think he's like around a 21. I would say.
I would guess 25 or 6.
And then I'd say Baker's around probably a 10 to 12.
I was going to say 7 to 9. So we came.
But you're
out
saying
about
these are
even.
closer. So yeah, I would take the McCaffrey side by a mile, but
Yeah, I would too.
so they were closer.
McCaffrey side by 4.8.
Okay.
Darnold's at 3.7.
Too high.
Okay.
DJ Moore is 23.7.
That's close. Okay.
Baker's 14.5.
Ooh, it's gone up quick.
Mhm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a decent price for Baker. But, I mean, that's a 23 and 24.
Yeah.
If I needed
Baker
one, I
running-
would pay it right now because there's no way I'd be in a position where, you know what I mean? If somebody went down in season, I'd pay that. If somebody on my roster went down and I needed a guy.
If I need a QB 3 or 4, I think I would pay that.
Hmm.
If I have
Is-
2 really good
Is
guys.
Baker
think
running
I'd
away
wait.
with it, Austin?
Depends on who you
Is it
ask.
closer than you like? Oh, really? Okay.
So from the fans and local media side, it seems 5 out of 7 days Baker runs away with it in the practice. You ask the coaches, and it seems they're dead even. And you look at the snap count with the ones, they're dead even. And honestly, stat-wise, they're really not that far apart. I'm really curious to see tomorrow. I think Darnold will start the first series if I had to guess.
Really?
Yeah, Rule seems to like Darnold, and 2, I think he wants Baker to earn it. So he's been adamant in saying that he's not going to declare a starter until after the New England preseason, which is week 2, so end of next week. And that's also when we have the scheduled scrimmages, so it'll be a good time to see those quarterbacks against live defenses. But no, he hasn't really blown away. I mean, he's had a couple of days where he's just been better than Darnold could ever dream. So that's a big difference I've seen. But honestly, most days Darnold's improved. You can see it. Footwork looks much better. His biggest issue is progression, which has been his issue since he came into the league and in college. But his footwork does look a lot more smooth. So no, he hasn't ran away as much as I wish he would. But we'll see it. I don't think we'll hear much after this weekend. But I think by next weekend we'll know who the week 1 starter is.
That's good.
All right. Cool.
McCaffrey.
I mean, I think
how's
they're
he looking?
Phenomenal. The dude's insane. I think at least once or twice a day you hear McCaffrey catch a screen or a Texas route and breaks 3 or 4 defenders' ankles and to the end zone.
Nice.
Chad asked in the chat. He said, "Who would Austin rather see?" I know you're going to say Baker. Right?
Yeah, it's not even close, man.
Yeah,
I can't take another Sam Darnold season. I was happy last year because it was a new name and just something better than we've had. But I can't take another 3rd and 13 and he throws it 3-yard interception. I can't take it, man. I can't take it.
Yeah. I think they're crazy if they.
Yeah, but they're gonna start Baker, but I like that they're at least making him earn it.
Sure. Yeah, Rule's a college coach. That's how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So tied game going into the last trade.
Oh boy.
All right. So ready?
I'm gonna have to jump the gun.
All right. So we've got Darnell Mooney and Rashad White versus Devonta Smith and Damian Pierce.
Austin. Devonta Smith's side.
Oh, nice. This one's really close.
That's what I was going to say.
What do you think the difference is?
Smith.
Probably 0.6.
It's actually. What do you think it is, Mike?
The difference between the two?
Between the two trades. I mean,
trades?
Yeah, two sides.
I would say 0.8.
That is correct. It is
0.8.
Yeah. So who's the highest player in the trade, Austin?
Devonta Smith. And I'm going to say 18.3.
Austin runs away with it 4-2. Yeah, it's actually 17.9. So you're quite close. 17.9. Damian Pierce 7.7. Mooney 16.1. Rashad White 8.7. Which side would you guys rather have?
Smith. Pretty easy.
Yeah. This was kind of a Devonta Smith versus Mooney debate for me because where was it? I was somewhere where somebody kind of called me a little bit crazy. I think it was probably Dallas. Called me a little bit crazy for comparing the two. That Mooney was better. And I don't agree with that, better? Or he just like,
he's a Bears fan, so
because he's a number one, basically he's the number one option anyway. I don't see him as a number one wide receiver. I just don't think he's as good of a prospect, and I just don't think he's as good of a player, personally.
I don't think so either. Could he have a better 2022 than Devonta Smith, fantasy-wise? Yes, of course, just based on pure volume. But that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it does go back to the fact that I'm scared shitless of Fields. So, Austin, I think I dodged a bullet. I'm going to keep.
Well, aren't you scared of Hurts too? So both quarterbacks for you, kind of
out. But I think Fields has a much lower floor. Like we saw Hurts
fantasy, of course.
As an NFL player, we saw Hurts' floor last year. And it's, it's kind of a average to below average passer where Fields' floor is a complete disaster. You know, his
Well,
floor
look at the
is.
franchise.
But what I'm saying is, I'm way more scared of him than Hurts. Like his floor is like Jamarcus Russell. You know what I'm saying?
So you would trade Fields for Hurts straight in a Superflex league?
No,
Say they're
no. I'm saying as a quarterback for the wide receiver. Follow what I
Okay.
mean? I will
Yeah,
not have
yeah.
Hurts in Dynasty. I had one share. I took him in a startup when he was a rookie just because I took Wentz. So I was just taking Wentz as backup. And like really late. And I ended up trading him for this offseason for Mac Jones in a second. I'd much rather have that side.
See, I'd rather have the Hurts side pretty easy.
Hurts isn't going to have a job next year.
I think he
just-
can come to Carolina.
Okay. Actually,
It's funny. I was wanting him
That
to
could
get traded
happen.
to Denver after last year. So yeah.
Yeah,
that really
I'm-
could happen. You know, if the Eagles could trade Hurts in a first to go up, you know, Carolina doesn't want to take Stroud. Take him off your hands.
Hey, whoa, Carolina better not be top 3 pick next year.
Hurts and 2 firsts. I don't know, guys. You guys gonna be good?
No, but
Okay.
they're gonna make the top 3 bad.
That roster's pretty. You're an injury or two away. You know what I mean?
They have
Like a big
no
injury.
depth. You're absolutely correct there.
I was kind of looking at it when I was trying to put this trade game together. I was looking at other Carolina players to pair with before I decided to go with who's the third option on that team? Like that has any DTZ value at all? There's none. Robbie Anderson,
It's gonna be Robbie or Rashard Higgins.
Terrace Marshall, Rashard Higgins. Like these guys are 2. You know. Oh, also, when I was trying to put this last one together, what I found interesting, the reason I put Rashad White and Damian Pierce in there at 8.7 and 7.7, if you look at other second round running backs, they don't carry that value in DTC. So
What
like
about
Zamir
Algier?
White, what's that?
Algier, does he carry it? I feel like he's gotta be
Um,
right around there.
No, he doesn't. He's lower. Zamir White, Algier, they're like 2.0. Brian Robinson, they're like 2 or 3. Like they're basically saying they're worth a third. So it's odd to me why any of those guys would have lost value when they were going in the mid to late second. They're not worth that now in DTC. So it's a little odd. Possibly a way to take advantage of some things.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend last week about DTC, and I feel like their values feel really inconsistent right now. Over the offseason, I actually liked them. I felt it pretty accurate, say March, April, May. I felt that's pretty good value. I agree. And now when it's coming to these hypes and buzz times, I feel like you'll see a player 4 points higher than somebody else. And I'm like, I don't see it at all. So I agree. You can use it to your advantage if you know somebody uses DTC.
You do that with any calculator.
Absolutely.
DTC Dominator. But I don't think it's like a sneaky advantage. I think it's just good to know. So like if somebody uses it, then hey, if you're going to respect it, then obviously don't always throw it back in their face. Well, here, I use DTC and it says it's even.
No.
Don't do that, right? But
No.
if you know it's close there, then generally they're probably going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a decent deal, right?
Yep.
So,
especially if you can make your side lose on the trade calc, they are, but you feel like you're winning. It's a perfect way to make something happen.
Yeah.
So I traded for McCaffrey this offseason in a campus Canton league. I traded. So do you know anything about Debbie? Do you follow? You live in the South Austin. You have to follow college at least a bit, right?
Yeah, I'm in 3 or 4 Debbie leagues and 2 campus to Canton.
All right. So I traded Jace McClellan and Zach Evans for CMC. What do you think about that one?
That's easy, CMC.
All right, cool.
I'm
a little afraid. I'm a little afraid that he's never going to be that guy again.
Well, that's why you got him for what you did, though.
Yeah, and it was early in the offseason too.
I mean, I do like Zach Evans. I think he has a chance to, honestly, he has a chance to dethrone Bijan next year. but more than likely doesn't. But should be a lock for a top 3 running back next year, which is
Yeah, he's going to be a high pick.
105 to 107
Right.
in a rookie draft. So still good value on your side.
Yeah, I guess that's my question. Is it like, should I be afraid of CMC this year? Like, I'm not saying should I be afraid of future injury, because nobody can tell that. But does he truly look like his old self?
Oh yeah, he looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Go on his Instagram, like
Okay.
I've been
the
trading
dude
for him.
looks phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie.
I actually drafted him in 2 best ball leagues before JT, just
Yep.
because of his receiving.
Really?
In redraft, I'm taking CMC 101.
That's so I've been thinking about that too. I have, in one of my oldest redraft leagues, I have the 101, and I don't know if I should take JT or CMC.
Depends on what kind of player you are.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Yeah, you're right.
aside from injury, he's the best player in fantasy.
Right.
It just
Yeah.
depends on if you like dealing with the risk of injury every week.
I mean, if I'm taking a running back, I feel like I'm dealing with that anyway. You
I
know,
agree completely.
just because Jonathan Taylor's 2 or 3 years younger doesn't mean he's gonna be healthier. You know, just ask Cam Akers or J.K. Dobbins.
Yep.
So, all right, so that's a good point. I mean, I think CMC's moving up to my 101 in redraft. I got him. Yeah,
Yep.
I got him
Healthy
pretty.
falls. Yeah.
I felt like I got him pretty cheap in Scott Fishbowl too. So I'm feeling
People
good
are
about
definitely out on him as a whole. I mean, all it takes is one to draft him 101, but otherwise, man, I've seen him in redraft fall 105, 106, and that's just so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 1 QB. You mean?
Correct. Obviously. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Right on.
Who's your wide receiver 1 this year?
Who, me?
That's me.
Either both.
That's
Do you have one? Do you have Mike?
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, I
The
think
new coach, I
Jefferson.
think they're going to be passing so much more, and Jefferson's just dominant. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I think Jefferson, Cup, and
Chase.
Chase are pretty much in a tier for me. I'll take any of those 3 in redraft.
I think Diggs is in that same tier for me.
Really?
Yeah, Diggs too. Diggs
Yep.
is pretty close too.
Honestly, I think he might be my second option for wide receiver 1 this year behind JJ.
I feel like I just got him kind of cheap in Dynasty.
Diggs.
Yeah, is that your league, Austin? Marvel?
Yep.
Yeah. So
We got
see.
CMC kind of cheap in there. It felt like, but I don't know. I did give up a first, but
I think that was a fair deal.
yeah,
I
like
thought that
it.
was a good asking price.
Mine wasn't cheap because I got Connor shoved down my throat. So I had Diggs and Connor. But I didn't really want Connor, but fine. For I don't know, I think it was a 24 and 25 first and Alec Pierce.
Oh yeah, I do remember that
gosh.
deal. That was a good deal. I have no issue with that at all.
I thought it was pretty even. But like if you think that Diggs has a chance to have that kind of season, yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
Connor's a real wild card.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just don't want to. I don't know. Touchdown regressions
Uh-huh.
will come, and
It'll get you.
he never stays healthy. So, but who knows?
Who's the other guy over there? I can't even think of who the other guy is.
Daryl Williams, and then
Darrell
Eno
Williams.
Benjamin.
Eno Benjamin.
Deontay
I mean, he doesn't have a
Benjamin.
whole lot behind him, but I mean, he
Eno's
can't be
too
a bell cow.
small.
He won't stay healthy. So, I don't know.
Man, that's weird. They didn't bring in anybody else. They didn't, you know.
Yeah.
I felt like
Yeah,
I thought they were going to bring Chase Edmonds back as well. I felt like they were pretty good. They kind of looked like each other out there last year a little bit. Kind of could do the same things.
we got a Zach Wilson update. Says
Oh,
Jets
yeah?
are hopeful. It's just a PCL injury. Expecting a couple weeks. So that's better than it could be. Said
That's
they'll
good.
know MRI tomorrow morning.
ACL would have been a little more fun.
What?
You get some Elijah Moore panic, and felt like I could have maybe scooped some players. That happened. Elijah Moore, get Wilson panic.
Which
Definitely
receiver
more
do you
Elijah
prefer?
Moore.
Sounds like Elijah the way you're saying it.
Well, I just think people would be more depending on Elijah Moore for this year. But overall, I have no idea. I haven't seen Garrett Wilson play football yet, but I know he's worth more. You know, he's 103 or 104 this year. I kind of didn't want to take him there. I took him there in one draft, and in another draft, I traded away for Hawk. Like, I don't know. I didn't really want to take Garrett Wilson too many times.
He was my wide receiver 1 in the class.
Yeah. I like him in the class, but I don't think he's going to do a whole lot this year. So, to be honest.
Jameson Williams, my wide receiver 1, even with the injury. So, actually, I think there was one league where I took Jameson Williams over Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson sure seemed better at Ohio State.
Yeah, but he didn't do the shit that Jameson Williams did last year. Man, that guy's electric. I love him.
He is.
He's
He's my 3 in the class, so I'm not knocking.
He has a chance to be a different kind of receiver than Garrett Wilson. We'll see. I mean, they're prospects until you see him
Absolutely.
play NFL. Yeah, I have no idea. Jalen Reagor was a first-round pick. Yeah,
That was a mistake when it happened, but
JJ Arcega-Whiteside was a second-round pick.
Gosh, what franchise would do that twice?
I don't know, man. The franchise that sports AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, I'll take it.
And Goddard.
They learned from their mistakes, right?
They did. They nailed that one.
Cool. Well, should we wrap this one up? We're right about an hour.
I mean, we're
That's
just
pretty
about
good.
an hour. You know, I think we're good.
I'm just shooting it at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have any shots. I don't have any fruity seltzers to really keep me going. So I think we can wrap it up.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm giving up the seltzers for a while, by the way. Next week I'll be back with some Tito's. It's screwing up my stomach. I don't know. I gotta stay away from the hard seltzer, to be honest. I'm just gonna beer and vodka. I'm gonna go back to the Old Faithfuls. All
They
right.
both work.
All right, Mike Kenny says good.
Mike Kenny said, "Good shoe, good shoe,
Good
boys."
shoe. Thanks, Mike.
Nice.
Right on. All right, guys. We will be back next week. Mike and I will be back next week. Chad may be with us. He may not. And otherwise, we have a guest. We'll see. A lot up in the air. But y'all have a great night. Austin, thanks for joining us.
Heck yeah, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good
Yeah,
stuff,
absolutely. Give us your Twitter one more time.
Yeah, Sweet and Low Civic.
All right,
With
at Sweet and
3s
Low
instead of E's.
Oh, yeah. 3s instead of E's. Right on.
Mike Kenny can't type shows. Sorry. Good shoes. Multiple shoes. All right.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks,
All right,
everybody.
take care, guys. See ya.
Thanks, guys.